Hello, everyone. Just going to give some folks some time to come on into the leader room. How was everyone's night? Let's see if I can. Hello, hello. How was everyone's Sunday night? It's cold here in Michigan. Hello, Tara Thomas. Thank you for joining in to the leader room. Gonna give a couple of folks some more time to come on in the room. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. This is going to be an interactive. Let me know if you can hear me really good, or if my camera is crooked. But I want this session to be interactive. It is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I don't expect to be on very long, but just wanted to give you a couple of points and just kind of tell you what the leader room is all about. So if you have any questions or if you have any comments, feel free to pop them in at the in the comment section. Alrighty. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty. All right, so the leader room is a gathering place for leaders where you can come and get practical principles to help you in your everyday leadership journey. And I think one of the things that I have learned throughout my years of leading is that leadership is a journey, and you need folks to help you along the way. And so that's what the leader room is here to do. Hence, the ER is capitalized in the leader room. Since I worked in the ER and in the ICU, it's a place where you can come and get charged up, get what you need, get refreshed, because sometimes leadership can beat you up. And so the leader room is going to be here to support you, to give you some wisdom, to give you some nuggets, to send you back out on your way, and to lead great, and to be great for your teams. So what I want to do is just kind of talk about influence, what it is, and then we'll end the session with 3 steps to setting an intention. Alrighty? Give me some hearts and some likes if you can hear me. Also, if you want to share this video, click share and share it to your page, or invite someone to come on in. All right? So influence, what is it? So really, influence is the ability to motivate and inspire others to action. And it's the ability really for you to change how someone sees a situation. And so it is the ability to change their perception of a thing. And so you as a leader can't positively influence others without making a connection. You can't positively influence someone to do something, to change their mind, to persuade them, if you haven't first made a connection with them. And that's the key to leadership. That is really leadership 101, is making a connection with the folks that you lead. Anything else is just browbeating. It is an exercise of power, of authority. It is putting your thumb on the neck of your employees. And in order to get your team and your organization to where you want it to go, you can't do that with browbeating. That is only done by positively influencing those that you lead. So power is, I'll make you do it. And influence is I'll encourage you to do it. And so that's what we want to do as leaders. We want to encourage our people to do the work and to do what's right. And so 4 fundamentals of influence. 1 is to make a team feel that they have a choice. They know the work needs to be completed, but the influence gives them the power. It empowers them to feel that they have a voice in it. They can negotiate. Not that the work doesn't get done because they know that the work needs to be completed, but they can negotiate how they complete the work. And so influence recognizes their voice. Number 2, influence recognizes that the leader and the employee need each other. So I, as the leader, need you, the employee, and you, the employee, needs me as the leader. It is an interdependent relationship. And so I will guide you, and then you, as the employee, will give me what I need, which is getting the work done and the work being done great. So that is number 2, is recognizing that influence is an interdependent relationship. I need you and you need me. Number 3, influence has a leader running to feedback and not away from it. And sometimes leaders are skeptical. They are afraid to run to feedback. If you are not a leader that is transparent, or if you are a new leader, then sometimes it's hard to hear feedback. And even as a seasoned leader, some days it is hard to hear feedback from your team because leaders, we're human and our feelings get hurt, and we want to protect our feelings as well. And so out of being transparent, there is a space of vulnerability that the leader places themselves. And so sometimes it's hard to be able to run to that feedback. But I liken feedback as a scale. Okay? I don't want to get on the scale. There are many days that I do not want to get on the scale, but I recognize that I need that feedback because that number on the scale is going to tell me how to modify my behavior, right? And so if I want to be an effective leader to the team that is in front of me, those that I have the privilege of leading, then I need to step on that scale. I need to run to the scale. I need to run to the feedback, and I need to say transparently, tell me what it is you need that is going to help you get the work done. What do I need to do as a leader to remove the barriers for you? And so that is running to feedback and not running away from it. Is it hard to hear sometimes? It is. Do you get your feelings hurt? Yes. But you need to be able to step back and be reflective and say, I might not necessarily care for the person that brought me the feedback, but I need to be able to hear what they said, because there's always some truth to the feedback, regardless of who brought it to you. And so, like I said, you might not enjoy the person that brings you the feedback, but you need to step back and you need to say, I need to hear this. As the leader, I need to hear this feedback, because it's not going to just be productive for me as a leader to help me grow, but it's going to help my team grow if I take the feedback and I really delve into what is being said and modify my behavior accordingly. So that's number 3, running to feedback and not away from it. And number 4, influence is what I call a built-in retention. So human resources always talks about recruitment and retention. Human resources says we can recruit all day long. It's up to you and the team to retain the employee. And there is a lot of research out there that says that employees don't necessarily leave the team, or don't leave the job. They leave because of their leader. And so as an influencer, as someone who positively influences the team, you have the ability to retain those folks. And it's costly when you have a team that is constantly turning over. I know in nursing, for every nurse that turns over, it's an additional $100,000. So you have to recruit them, you have to bring them in for orientation, and then there is a 3 to a 6 to a 9 month orientation that you have spent, and you're constantly spending that when you are not retaining your staff. And so as the leader, as the influencer, you have the ability to retain those that are under you. Okay, so just as a recap, thank you for joining the Leader Room, Miss Cheryl Oglesby Towns. Thank you so much. So as a recap, the 4 fundamentals of influence. Number 1 is to make the team feel that they have a choice. They have the ability to negotiate how the work gets done. Not that the work is not going to get done, or that they're not going to do the work, but they have a voice. They recognize that they have a voice in how it's going to be done. And then number 2, influence recognizes that there is an interdependent relationship between the leader and the employee. The employee is dependent on the leader to guide them, and the leader is dependent on the employee to do great work. And then number 3, influence has a leader running to feedback and not away from it. And so like I said earlier, it's like stepping on a scale. You don't necessarily want to see what that number on the scale is, but you need to see what it is so that you can modify your behavior. And as a leader that is creating an environment of influence that is actively causing your people to move and to do the work that needs to be done. You're actively motivating them. You're inspiring them to be done. And in order to do that, you have to be able to hear what they say, and you have to be able to heed what they say. So that's number 3. And then number 4, influence is a built-in retention maker. And so HR can do all of the work by bringing the folks in, but if you don't have positive influence with your team, then your team is going to constantly turn over, and you're going to cost the organization money. And so then you, as the leader, becomes a liability. So they'll look and say, why is her team the only team that's turning over? Why does she have, a 15 or 20% vacancy rate when everybody else has a 2%, right? So the national average for any organization, they really like to keep the turnover rate less than 3%. And so when you go above that, and you consistently go above that, then HR and the folks at the table are going to be looking at you and looking at your team and trying to figure out, why are you not retaining your team? And so they look to the leader to do that. And so with that being said, you can't positively influence your folks if you are not present and available, right? That's right. You have to hear and you have to heed. Those go hand in hand. You are absolutely correct. Yes, ma'am. Does anybody have any questions before we move to intention setting? I'm trying to find the time. 9:15. Okay. So, like I said, tonight I wanted to just talk about the power of influence, and then also setting an intention. And so setting an intention is not just for you, the leader, but setting an intention also creates an environment that is going to increase productivity for your team. I'll give you an example. When I used to manage an inpatient team, every morning, really every shift, at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., we would gather at our what we call the safety huddle board. And so we would go over the happenings for the night or for the day, and we would try to figure out what happened. Do we have a lot of falls? Do we have a lot of admits? Was there a full moon? And if anybody works in healthcare, know that a full moon matters. And you have to appropriately set your intention to be able to deal with that. And so we would meet at the board at every shift, and we would say, okay, so what's the intention for this shift? And so an intention deals with the now. So it's not a goal. A goal is something that is futuristic, but an intention is being in the now. Excuse me, it is being present. How do we deal with the now? What does the now look like? How do I want my now to look? And it's a true saying, you have what you say. And so you have the ability to put out into the atmosphere how you want your day to go. And for me as a leader, I found that very true. There would be days that I would miss setting an intention, and halfway through my shift, I would be like, oh my God, like this is the worst day ever. And if I kept repeating this is the worst day ever, then it became the worst day ever. And it just continued to be the worst day ever. And so I had to realize that I have power in what I say. Everything that comes out of my mouth has the ability to create what I want it to create. And so that is the power of setting an intention. And so if you want to be a better leader, then you have to set the intention to say that. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, Stacy. So how do you manifest your intentions? So for me, it was creating a ritual. I keep a journal that I journal in the morning, and I keep a journal that I journal at night. And so I make it a point every morning to get up and to set my intention for the day. If I want to focus on being grateful, or the intention of gratitude and finding gratitude, then I would set my intention of today I am going to be grateful. I am going to find things to be grateful for. And so when I would get into the whirlwind of my day, and sometimes the whirlwind can try to take you over, and you have competing interests. And with me, there was a point that I was managing 8 teams. And so each team, you have to lead differently. You have different personalities on each one of those teams. And so it's easy to be succumbed by the whirlwind. And so you have to be able to set your intention so that you can come back to it. And I would set what I called an antecedent, which is either like a sticky note, or it was something that would cause me to pause and think about, what's my intention? What did I say I was going to focus on today? And then it would bring me back to, oh, I said that I was going to be grateful today. So let me find something to be grateful for. So I would search out things, I would search out people, and I would say, you know what? I am so grateful that you came to work today. You make our patients' lives better just by being here. And so as I began to speak those positive thoughts and those positive intentions, then it caused me to feel lighter. It's really hard to have a continually bad day when you are consistently being grateful for something. Doesn't mean that your day cannot be crappy, right? But within that, you find something to be grateful for. So number one is to create a ritual, whether you work days or you work nights, or you do it before you get to the boardroom, on your way to work. I know for some of us, we have a commute. I know I do. It's not as long as it used to be, but it's still a 35 to 40 minute commute. And sometimes I won't answer the phone. I might just put some music on, or I might not have anything on and just be thinking of how I want my day to go. Number two is to be specific. What do you want to focus on specifically? If you want to focus on being grateful, then be specific. I am going to be grateful for this. I am going to find people to be grateful for, and I am going to go to them and I am going to say, I want you to know that I am grateful for you because of this. So be very, very specific. And then number 3 is to act on your intention. So throughout the day, speak on your intention. Speak it out loud. Tell people that you are being intentional about something, because once you put it out there, then it causes a certain level of accountability. And so when you don't want to be grateful, then you remember, hey, I told people that I was going to be grateful. And also give people an opportunity to kind of check you. Hey, I thought you said that you were going to be grateful. I remember I had one employee many years ago, and I lived by a set of 10 leadership principles, and one of those principles is being in the moment. And so each year I would have my employees pick at least one principle that they were working on, and they would tell everyone in the unit, this is the leadership principle or the principle that I am working on. And so if you see me not working in that principle, then check me on it. And I had enough faith in my staff and enough faith in who I was as a leader to be transparent enough to also have my team members be able to check me when I wasn't operating in the principle. And so one of the principles that I was working on, that I had told the team that I was working on, was being in the moment. And so being in the moment was just that. I am going to be practicing presence with you. I'm going to be therapeutically present with you. If I am talking to you, then I am talking to only you. I am not on my phone. I am not paying attention to my computer. I'm not allowing other people to walk up and interrupt our conversation and then me get sidetracked to talk to them. I am focusing specifically on you. And I had one patient care tech whom I loved, and I was standing in the doorway of my office. Her and I were talking, actively engaged in a conversation, and someone came up and immediately started talking. I don't even think they said, excuse me, hey, Erica, blah, whatever. But immediately, whatever their question was, whatever it is that they asked me or interjected, I immediately started to talk to them and to answer them and to counsel them, whatever it was. And the tech looked at me and she was like, Miss Erica, you broke that. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you're not operating in your principle. You said that you were going to be working in being in the moment, and you broke that just now. And for folks that know me, know that I will see a lot of squirrels, right? I see a lot of shiny things. And so practicing being in the moment is something that I try to do every single day. Hi, Andre Healy. Hi, Marty Cox. It's something that I try to do every day. So being in the moment. And so it was good for me to be able to get that feedback to say, hey, listen, you said that you were going to be in the moment with me and you're not doing that. And I need you to uphold your end of the bargain. Right? Which goes back to influence, being able to hear, and also to heed the feedback that someone gives you. And then lastly, for the 4 steps of manifesting your intention, is to be reflective. And so at the end of my day, whether I am on my way home or it is after I have put my little one to bed, I pull out my journal and I take a deep breath and I say, how did today go? Did I live out my intention? Did I get sidetracked? Did I get frustrated? Did I allow the whirlwind of the day of the moment take over the thing that I intended to do. And I reflect on that. And if it's something, if I did really, really good, then I applaud that. And I add that onto the next thing. And if I didn't do it well, then guess what? It's Groundhog's Day for me, because I get up and I redo that intention. I am very intentional and very specific on living out the intention, being present, being grateful, being able to run to feedback when it's needed, being transparent with my teams. And I think any great leader who wants to build their team and who truly wants to connect with their people, yes, you do get to ask questions. Maybe everybody gets to ask questions but you. But yes, sir, you can ask questions. So it's, as a leader, what have I been commissioned to do? I believe that leadership is a call. It is a God-given call. And the people that God has graced me to lead, it is a privilege to have an audience with them. There are folks on my team that are challenging. And there was a time that I would look at those folks and be like, right? I take a real deep breath and I beat my head and I blink 12 times real fast. But then I had to say, Erica, like, what is it in them that is causing this reaction in you? And really, I was seeing some of them in me and realizing that every person that you lead, every one of them has a gift. And so as the leader, you have to be able to unearth that gift. You have to be able to find those hidden treasures. You have to be able to pull away the dirt. And some of them, like, you have to spend a lot of time. It's heavy lifting, but you have to know that it's worth it. And first and foremost, you have to count up the cost of leadership. You have to say, do I have it in me? Is this something that I want to do? Leadership is not an exercise of brute power. It is an exercise of humility. It is situational, and it is selfless. You are a servant when you lead. You don't get the opportunity to not really lead them or to remove barriers. People ask me all the time when I go to conferences, or if I'm just sitting there and I'm meeting someone that's new, they'll ask me, hey, so what do you do? And I'll say, do you want to know what I do, or do you want to know what my title is? Because those are different. A title is a title, but being a true leader, like what you do, is what really matters. And so for me, what I do as a leader is I remove barriers so that my team can do what they need to do to get our patients transplanted. And so that's what I do. There's a whole gamut in that, whether it is fighting for contracts, whether it is having conversations with our governing body, with our CFO, our CNO, trying to get staff, whether it is marketplace issues. That's my role. My role is to stand at the front and to take the brunt of the wind so that my people can do what they need to do. And that's how I lead. I love leading my teams, and every day they teach me something new. Did you have a question, Andre Healy? You said, do we get to ask questions? Do you have a question? Because I can talk all day. What time is it? It's 9:30. I know it's getting late. I'm trying to see who else is on the line. We got some folks from Tennessee on the line. And some of our Michigan people. Does anybody have any questions for me? I plan on doing the leader room at least every week. It will be same time, same channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, not this time. All right, very good. So yeah, for me, I've been leading for about 20 years now. And I knew that it was something that I wanted to do. Nursing was what I wanted to do, and leadership just kind of came naturally with that. And now I can't see myself doing anything different. I want to be able to constantly pour out everything that I have to my people to make sure that they have what they need. It is my gift to them. And so their gift to me is allowing me the ability to be their leader. All right, well, y'all were a quiet group. Okay. Well, until next time, share this video. If you do have any other questions, you can ask them here on the thread, even once the recording starts, or you can send a direct message to the Leader Room, and then I'll answer those questions either online or straight to your direct message. So thanks so very much. And talking about intentions, the Leader Room is is in my living room. It's in my dining room, and I have a little one. And so my intention was to have my little one sleep throughout the entire thing. And so for that, I am grateful. I'm telling you, there is power in saying what you want. Alrighty, so until next time, I'll see you all later. Very good.